Stage Whale, your regular fix for movies and mayhem. Episode 43. This week you're joined by Kev and James because Drew, wait, that's me, is at a book event. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Welcome to a special or unspecial episode, however you look at it. We don't have a Drew today. Drew is
passed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, we will move on.
Yeah, he had to go.
He had to go. Yeah, he was. I think he was letting us down really a little bit, wasn't he?
We're going to do a séance in October for him and try and bring his spirit back at least.
And if you've seen the film Talk to Me or Baghead, it's
Or
going to be a
Ghost.
little bit like that.
Or Ghost, except there'll be less pottery.
Less pottery, just full blown.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg's been confirmed.
Oh, I think I said that last week. I can't remember when I said I watched Sister Act's Whoopi Goldberg. They're creating Sister Act 3 at the moment.
Yeah, you just watch Nun stuff now, don't you? That's why.
Nun stuff's great. No, Drew's currently. This is only for visual viewers. He is currently in a cafe
On his own. He looks like he's in the services.
I think he's in the. Is that the Lights?
Yeah.
He's got his books, his poetry books out. He's doing a signing and for people to buy. So that's what he's doing this evening. I think we've plugged his book enough, but it's My Life in Pieces, and you can now get it on audio. What's the audio thing?
I don't know. It makes a really good coaster, though. So you don't get, like, your sort of wooden tables wrecked when you put your drinks on it. So you can actually get, if you're lucky, 3 drinks on one book.
It's on Audible at the moment, and he's going to speak to us next week. He's going to give out some giveaway codes for some people so they can get free access as well.
But no one wants to forge his signature. It looks like this.
Yeah,
He's got a proper showbiz signature, hasn't he?
Yeah, if you want to do checks, if you still do checks, that's the way forward. Right. I was going to... Oh, actually, let's start a little bit differently rather than going in the same method. Let's go random, because I have a random fact. So,
Random fact of the day.
Okay, are you ready? This is properly random, and by random I mean nothing to do with movies. And you can guess as well. There are 10 human body parts that are only 3 letters long. Can you name 10 body parts? Arm.
Leg.
Toe.
Lip.
Well done. Ear. Yes,
Yeah.
5. 5 more.
What about...
Arm, leg, ear, toe, lip.
We've got 5.
5.
I feel like this is probably going to be a really bad one for people to listen to because my brain's ticking.
I think it's difficult. I think a bunch of them I wouldn't have guessed as.
And they're body parts, not bones, or like.
No, they can be bones as well.
Okay.
Well, one's a bone. You said lip. What is the lip attached to?
Jaw.
And what else is it attached to? So jaw's correct. What's above your teeth?
I don't know. Gum.
Well done. What else is there? How are you looking at me?
Eyes. Eye. Yeah. How many is that now?
And if you do the hippie shake, what are you shaking?
Ass.
Your hip, you muppet.
How many is that?
Your ass. I think that's the. Oh no, there's one left. The furthest extremity from you right now.
My ding dong.
That's in the middle of your body. Furthest.
That's my toe.
Bingo.
I said that at the beginning.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's good
Well,
to
you must
see
have
someone's
gotten
listening. I think I did all right then.
Did you say ear?
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Also, another random fact. I was on holiday last week, and with no TV, as in they don't have any Netflix or anything, it's just standard TV. We'd had a long day, and we just wanted to not drink, not anything, just kind of sit. And we put the TV on. The only thing that is on was Wonder Woman 1984.
Still haven't seen it.
The fact of the day is, it's still awful.
I've got a better fact.
Go on.
So in the Euros, you've got England, Netherlands, Spain, and France. Those 4 countries, if I'm correct, all tied to win the Eurovision Song Contest in 1969.
That's random.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear
Those
that?
4 countries specifically. I read it somewhere. I don't know if it's true, and I'm not fact checking it.
That is a weird one.
I
That's
also got
weird.
another one. I think Scotland have only ever scored like 6 goals in the European Championship finals.
Finals or the
It was in
whole
like the
competition?
tournament.
Oh,
They've
okay.
only qualified a handful of times. I think they've scored 6 goals, and every single player is a muck or something. That is legit.
Ali McCoist will be one of them.
Everyone is muck something apart from the German player, which scored no goal from.
Brilliant. Well, let's go into. I've got a little mini show and tell for you.
Back to school with Rage Whale. Here's show and tell.
I sent you a message about this the other day, but this is for like the listeners and stuff. I went to someone's house. I should probably not. I'm not going to mention why. But anyway, it's a person I don't know, random person, and I was in the house, and they are moving. They're immigrating to the Philippines. They're going abroad, and he just had a collector in to buy hundreds of his vinyls off him. And I was explaining, I like vinyls, I collect. I've got similar music taste as him. He likes rock and he likes some weird stuff as well. But he was like, "Oh, I've got a bunch of these that he wouldn't take because he's got some already." So yeah, I was looking at them and go, "Oh, they're brilliant." He went, "Oh, there you go, you can have that." I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, I better not. No, it's fine." And he goes, "Honestly, they're going in the bin. I'm going to travel. Just take them. I'd rather they go to a good home." I was like, "Oh, amazing. That's really cool." So he gave me Led Zeppelin vinyl. I've got a few of them already, but I didn't have that one. That's 25 quid online. Rolling Stones, I think it's one of the first albums, Out of Our Heads. That's like 20 quid online. Jethro Tull, Aqualung. I don't even know if I like Jethro Tull, but I'll give it a go. Status Quo, bit cheesy, but I'll give it a go. Fleetwood Mac, one of their
Love
very
the Mac.
first. It's one of the first albums, though. I don't recognise any of the songs.
I don't recognise that cover either.
No, me neither. But it's a more of a rare one. One of my favourite bands, The Who. It's the Live at Leeds album where it's the brown covered like paper bag cover.
Big fan of the Who.
That's quite a rare one.
Remember when he had a comeback album like in the 2000s and it was just like really weird?
Yeah, I went to see them at Isle of Wight Festival. I think it was like 2005 or 6.
It was almost like when Michael Jackson brought that album back in the 2000s. You were like, it's kind of alright, but if it wasn't him, I wouldn't want to listen to it.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, and he gave me another Led Zeppelin 2.
Nice.
And this is all those are like worth together about 250 quid. I think I already told you that. But do you know the band Hawkwind?
Yeah.
Which is obviously Lemmy. This is not even an album. This vinyl is very rare, and I think it's only got like 4 songs on it.
Like an EP.
Basically, and it folds in the middle, like it opens like that.
I want that. Send that to me.
And it's a bit mad. There's Lemmy in there. And I Googled it. It's 422 quid.
Wow.
And the guy didn't want it, and the collector didn't want it off him either. So, I mean, it's only 4 songs. Should I sell it? Should I keep it?
Nah, keep it. It's only going to go up in value, isn't it? Put it in like a frame somewhere.
It's not amazing condition. It's a bit tattered and worn, but like that's cool.
It's probably 60 years old. So
yeah, I don't know what year it is.
72.
Yeah, I can't see it on here.
By a barcode or something, or on an end.
Yeah, I've just looked there. Couldn't see it.
I've got a bit of a random show and tell. It was an impulse buy.
Oh shit! Look, it folds even. Oh mate, look. Right. That's the album. Goes bang. Do 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 do.
That's really cool.
That's nuts. This is great for all the people listening and not knowing what the hell
Do
we're
you want to
talking.
see my show and tell? I was in the toy shop with Reef the other day,
Yeah,
and you know how I like to grab a bargain.
yeah.
So we've heard of Mega Blocks, haven't we? Like the sort of knockoff version of Lego.
Oh yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. The Tesla truck.
Yeah, but look how ridiculously
What's that called?
detailed
The
the back.
Cybertruck.
Look at that.
What is that? 1 second. Just gonna try and make that screen bigger. Oh, mad.
But
That's
I
well
got it
detailed.
right, and it said it was 125 quid reduced, and I was like, okay. So I had a quick Google to see what they were selling for, and they're going from. Apparently, it was never really released over here. It was like an Italian one or something, and they're selling from anything from around like 80 to 100 plus. It was on sale in game for 25 quid. That's insane, isn't it?
You got.
£25 it cost.
You gonna keep it or sell it?
I'm gonna keep hold of it for a bit, and then I'll ditch it off. But look, just to oh no, oh that's the wrong receipt. I've got the receipt for it somewhere, but yeah, it was £25. I just saw it. It was sat just on the floor by the till, and I was like, that's pretty cool. How much is that? And I remember looking at it a couple of months ago, and it was like 120 quid. I was like, I'm not buying that. It's ridiculous. And I looked at it, it said 25. I was like, is that meant to say 25 quid? And he was
It's
like,
quite
yeah,
big.
it's
You're gonna do
massive.
like that.
I don't know, it's huge. Well, it's all sealed and that, and all like put together. I might stick it on eBay for a bit, but
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a reminder to say we love and appreciate you all for listening to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, follow, as this really helps us continue to progress and improve the content and keeps us making these fun episodes for you guys. Oh, we're also on these things called Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us there too, as we share short, funny reels on the reg that you can share with friends if you like. Now, back to the mayhem.
I was like, that's pretty. It's like 25 quid. You might as well roll the dice, mightn't you?
Yeah, I don't see
I
why
mean,
not.
I'm really struggling not to build it because it looks really cool from what I've seen.
Well, does it devalue if you build it but keep it in good condition and then put it back?
Probably not too much because apparently, like I said, it was limited edition. But it's a very specific thing. It looks really smart, but I didn't know Mega Blocks made little blocks. I thought they were just like the big ones you got.
I tell you what, I'd have a Cybertruck. I know they're ridiculous, but I'd have one.
They're coming out in England soon. They're still trying to work out the situation with the width of it and the roads.
I'm not sure they're as wide. You know, people drive like Land Rovers and stuff like that. They're massive.
No, it's massive. It's like 1.5 car parking spaces.
Oh, really?
It's so wide. They were talking about bringing out a version called the.
They need to bring out Cybertruck Slim.
No, they were going to bring one out. What was it called? It wasn't called the Werewolf. It was called something like that. It was like a narrower version, which would have been cool. But it's funny when they like. It's not the most overpriced vehicle in the world. Like the top spec one is, yeah, but the entry level is not obscene.
Probably not. Plus, it's kind of cool. Like I think it was you that sent the little clip, but it is like 2001's version of a car in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, have you seen the ATV that goes in the back of it? The Tesla ATV.
No.
It's like a quad bike kind of thing.
Oh,
Looks similar sort of style.
shit!
But this is quite funny, this model, because it comes with an optional sticker that you can stick on, and it does that like crack. You know when they threw the ball at the glass,
Oh, yeah.
and it like mimics that. You can put on there, which I thought was quite funny.
That's great. I don't right when he threw that ball at the Cybertruck to prove how resilient it is and like basically not quite bulletproof, but it's like damage proof.
Oh, it is bulletproof.
When he did
an
that,
option.
it threw and it cracked. I don't think that was an accident. I don't
No,
even know that
everyone's saying that now. Everyone on hindsight now is saying that was one of the greatest marketing stunts of all time.
100%. I said it on the day because it got so much news,
and he can easily come out and be like, "Oh, it's a prototype."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we improved the glass before we shipped any out. Boom, done.
Yeah.
No one cares.
And everyone was talking about it, weren't they?
Exactly.
And what were people moaning about? Oh no, the glass isn't bulletproof. What, that ball would have gone through the window of any car. It bounced off still.
Yeah, it still didn't break. It just made a dent and a crack. You know,
I still find it funny when they cut the Joe Rogan episode in half because they went down to the garage and shot the Tesla truck with a bow and arrow. Did you see that one?
yeah, I did because he was like, yeah, didn't he have a flamethrower as well? And he was just smoking loads of weed.
No, he was talking about the flamethrower that they sold. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
The Boring Company sold a flamethrower.
Oh yeah, the Boring
Like
Company.
10,000 flamethrowers. He was like, and Joe Rogan's like, surely that's not a good idea. I said, no, it's a terrible idea. I told people not to buy it. He's like, how many did you sell? Like 10,000. He's just cracking up laughing. He's a madman.
Ooh.
He's like the closest thing to a Bond villain you're ever going to get, isn't he?
Yeah,
Just making spaceships and putting satellites into. You know, Sunrise Studio, where Hunty and
oh yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
in Middlewell, Mike Burford's thing, they've got Starlink because they're in the sticks, and they need to have really good internet to do video calls with like LA and stuff. They got Starlink, which is basically, have you seen it before?
Yeah, it's what they gave Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a satellite dish. Yeah, they took it away because they pissed him off. It's a satellite dish you put down, it finds the thing, and now they've got like really good like broadband speeds. It's like 80 quid a month, but if it's for business, it pays for itself, doesn't it?
So it's tax deductible as well, isn't it?
Good point.
So,
but yeah, I don't know how he comes up with all this stuff.
I like it. I mean, I see the argument that wealthy billionaires should be putting more into stuff, and he's just flying rockets. But I don't think he's as bad as Bezos, who's got even more and should be doing something more with it. I think Elon Musk is just because Bezos, I don't think he's like super intelligent or anything. I think he just started a business that picked up, and now he's one of the richest men in the world. Whereas I think Elon Musk is genuinely super duper intelligent.
Well, he's got Asperger's, hasn't he? So he has got a bit of a crazy brain.
When you watch the documentary about him, you can tell he's an interesting person. He's strange, and he doesn't give a fuck about anyone's thoughts. And he's so awkward, but he doesn't feel awkward. He just is awkward.
Do you know why
I think he should be
Bezos...
innovating. He should be innovating. But the Bezos guy, he should be investing in world hunger.
Did you ever see how Amazon started the interview with him when he was younger? Because Amazon was a bookstore to start with.
Oh, was it?
Do you know why it was a bookstore? He was like, I wanted to sell the product that had the most stock. And he said, apart from second, like music was number 2. As far as how many different options there were, and he said books were number 1.
And brands
more
probably had that sold up as well with Virgin.
No. So what he did was he only ever stocked like the top 10 books. Everything else he'd buy in from a wholesaler and do almost best delivery, which was like 2 days. So a day from the wholesaler to him, then a day from him to the consumer, which was called like almost best service or almost best delivery. And the top 10 books they held stock at the warehouse and sold them out like that. So he was basically a book reseller. And he was like, there's more books than there are anything else. So he's like, that's why he chose books. He said number 2 was like music, obviously. But
when was this?
Back then,
was this like 80s, 90s? When was that?
90s, I think. And then obviously I remember it was just a bookstore.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Like Richard Branson, the reason he probably didn't go into music is that Richard Branson was like killing that in the 90s, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then now look at Bezos. They're like, there's no competition to Amazon, is there?
No.
0. Like, there's no competition to Tesla. Like, no other car companies anywhere near where they are.
It's easy to complain about Amazon, but it's so easy to pop on there and buy something.
I mean, yeah, occasionally they send the wrong thing. Like, did I tell you what they sent me the other day?
Go on, say it for this.
I've got it downstairs, but I can't remember to go and get it. I ordered a action figure for Reef, which was a white Flash. He wanted the white version of the Flash. Yeah. I don't know what the white version of the Flash is. So it got here in the Amazon box, and I was like, okay, I'll let him open it. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to open the box just to make sure it's all in there correctly and stuff. I opened it, and it was a bag of Holy Communion, like sort of biscuits or something. About that big.
Those little white discs that you have.
I don't know what colour they are, but it had like, on the front of it was just loads of like sort of readings from the Bible, like scripture. and on the back was just like it was a food. I don't know what it was. It must have been like Body of Christ or something. But I obviously haven't opened it.
I don't know where priests get that stuff, but I can't imagine.
Amazon apparently,
I can't
because I
imagine
got some.
priests going on the app and going, "Yeah, let's get some holy biscuits."
It's probably for people's houses, but like I've got it. Like I said, I've got it downstairs. I might bring it up for the next episode. But like
That's mad.
I was like, for fuck's sake,
they
you should see the.
Do you have to return it, or are they just fixing it for you?
Well, no, I have to return it.
Well, not always.
Which is fine.
I've had one the other day where I went. I got some. I mean, this is not the coolest thing to talk about, but these like things for your feet that are like rubber
Slides.
They're
Slides.
so comfy. I went to someone's house. It was a Chinese lady.
Of course, it was.
She said straight away, please take your shoes off. Put these on, and she gave me a pair of these rubber slider things to put on. It was like walking on clouds, and I've never had in the house. I always just wear like socks or barefoot because my house is clean. But I wore these. I was like, they're amazing. Where'd you get them from? Had to buy them, and I went to buy a second pair, and I bought size 8, but apparently not size 8. I bought size 10, but it came in size 8 for women in America, so
Brilliant.
I could not fit my foot in it at all. I gave it to the next door neighbor, his kid, but I couldn't fit in it, and I just messaged them saying it's too small. They sent me the right pair and said, "Don't bother about returning it; it's not worth the postage."
Yeah, last time they want me to return this, but the review I wrote was quite funny. But I did actually get an email from Amazon saying they're not going to post that. And there was a whole list of reasons saying why they couldn't. Let's just say it went against quite a lot of community guidelines.
Yeah, the swear words and the religious part probably was a factor.
Yeah, I got a bit carried away, I'll admit. But the only other time I can remember was a really big cock up was I bought this cable for an old like game system or something, like for a Mega Drive or something to connect it to a modern TV. And they sent me 3 pregnancy tests.
Wow.
And I emailed them, and honestly, it was a really funny back and forth with me and the customer service. They wrote this massive apology. They obviously didn't want them back, but that was a random one. I was like, right.
I love when it's random. Like mine was like the correct product, but the wrong size and shape. And
oh yeah, but getting an action figure, regardless of the action figure, confused. If they sent a normal Flash or Batman, I'd have been like, okay. But to send Holy Communion, which I didn't even know you could buy.
I think someone at the sorting office plays pranks every now and again. I can't think you can mix that up.
Unless the product code's really similar. Or there's some priests now with a freaking white Flash action figure blessing people.
As it's going through their conveyor belt in the factory, they just put yours goes through too quick, and they put the sticker on the next one in line. And that's.
I mean, it was a white Flash, so they might think it's like Turbo Jesus or something because he was all wearing like white.
My family on one side is very very Catholic. When I was growing up, I remember going to my grand's house, and she had on the wall by the door, nailed to the wall, like a little plaque, like only tiny, no bigger than your hand, but it had a little scoopy thing at the bottom. So it was a flat plaque, and then like a ball, like a little ball attached to it. Bowl, not ball. I can't pronounce that word. And it would have holy water in there. I'm like, where the hell would you get holy water from? And when you go into a house, you're meant to dab it with your finger and dab on your forehead, chest, and both shoulders. I'm just like, even as a kid, even as like 4, I was like, what is going on? This is weird.
Well, I will say one thing. The only reason I've got this Tesla Cybertruck is because they cocked up at Amazon. Because when I picked Reef up from school, he obviously was expecting to have his Flash, didn't have it. So I had to take him into town. And we went into Game, which is apparently like the greatest toy shop ever these days. And we got the new Despicable Me 4 Lego.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Are you going to go and see Are you taking him to see the film?
Yeah, he wants to go, yeah. We're going to see that, and then we're going to watch In a Violent Nature.
Yeah, he'll love that.
Well, yeah, he's really into it.
I was going to say that.
Saying that, though, Kev, when I was also in Game, I picked up Grand Theft Auto for him. Grand Theft Auto 5, because I was like, he always watches the mod videos where he put like Godzilla in, or he likes the idea of stealing the cars. It's quite funny. 2 seconds into the game, now I'm not even exaggerating. You start the game in a police shop, what's it called?
Cell station.
The police station, yeah. And the first part of the game, you just walk out this door.
The police shop.
Yeah, you walk out the door, and within 2 seconds, some guy walks past on the phone going, "Oh, fucking this." It's like, fucking that. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Volume down. And then, honestly, I've got some pictures I'll send you. His face when he worked out he could steal cars and crash them. I've never seen him laugh so much in my
Was
life.
that what he was laughing at?
He was honestly creasing up. He had his head in his hands. He was creasing.
What, because he threw someone out of a car and then just crashed it into
and just driving into things, yeah. It was really funny, actually.
Well, I suppose most games you play, like if you're playing car games, your racing games, if you crash, it's the end of your go. Where in
Yeah,
Grand Theft
I mean, you
Auto,
do die eventually if you keep crashing. But
yeah.
normally he plays the Lego games. Is quite good at them. But I was like, we'll have a go on this. But yeah, it was quite funny to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see Despicable Me. I'm going to see this. Well, we're recording today on a Tuesday, and then this weekend I'm going to see Despicable Me 4 with my parents, because it does look fun, and it's already meant. I mean, the biggest box office this year so far is Inside Out 2, and Despicable Me is catching up very quickly, and will definitely.
Well, unless he goes to watch it this weekend, we'll go next weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be in the cinema for like a month at least.
Yeah, if he already goes to see it this weekend, we won't bother. But
which is annoying because the horrors we want to see will be in the cinema for a week, be in and out, gone. You need to see them otherwise.
Inner Violent Nature's not on anywhere around here.
Is it not?
No, I clicked on the Odeon website a couple of days ago, and it said one in Liverpool, so up near you. Like there was only a handful, maybe 10 cinemas.
I'm shocked that Cineworld are playing it because I thought I'd have to go to the Picture House, which shows all the artier films.
Yeah. Nowhere around here, but I'm sure it'll be out on Prime or something pretty quickly.
Well, that's it. So for everyone listening, we've mentioned multiple films in the last couple of episodes. You may not have listened to the previous ones, but the films we're going to see or all try and see this week, where possible, is on Thursday, because I'm off this week. On Thursday, I'm going to go see Maxine, which is my personal most anticipated film of the year. Just because it's the third film in the Ty West trio of X and Pearl. And it just looks insane. So if you've seen X, the main protagonist, which is Mia Goth, she is spoilers, but it's been out for ages. She's the lone survivor. That won't affect your enjoyment of the film because it's madness. It's amazing. She's the lone survivor. And the old lady murderer, the sequel Pearl, is the old lady murderer when she's younger. And then this new film, Maxine, is actually the sole survivor from X 10 years later, basically, in the 80s.
Well, I'm going to go and see Longlegs at the weekend, so if anyone wants to come with me in the Andover area, let me know.
Well, this episode,
even though this won't be out until after the weekend. So retrospectively, let me know, and I'll say thanks anyway.
I'm most looking forward to Friday, because Friday's a double bill. Me and Sadie are going to go and see Longlegs at 1:20 on Friday, and then I'm going to go see In a Violent Nature at 6:00. So double.
I've actually read some really bad reviews about it. I think it's going to be one of them Marmite films.
I think we will love it, and other people can think what the hell they want.
I've seen some reviews that are like 7.5, some are like 2.5. So it's like, it's one of them, I think, you really like it or you could care less films.
The main comments I've seen about In a Violent Nature is, if you like slashers, you'll love it. If you don't, you won't. Simple as.
I've heard the video game reference brought up quite a lot.
Well, yeah, they say a lot of scenes are that scene from the one that's in the trailer that's really cool, but apparently it's that view too often, basically.
But that was the whole point of it, wasn't it?
But who cares? That's just a silly comment. I don't.
Yeah, I imagine if it's not in many cinemas, within the space of a month, it'll be on Prime for like $9.99.
The only thing,
or it'll be on like Shudder or something.
Oh, it'll be on Shudder fairly quickly, I assume. The only thing that annoys me is that In a Violent Nature on the Cineworld page, it says comedy/horror. Remember what I said? My mate has saw an early preview last month, and he said it's a cross between The Office and Friday the 13th. So I think that's where the comedy might come from. There might be a funny element at the beginning, and then it goes really, really dark.
Hope not. A bit random, but
it sounds a bit weird, but it's difficult to tell. I think because not much information has been given about it, except
I still can't find it anywhere to stream.
So hopefully, I reckon it will be good.
It's unusual for a film to come out in America really early. Well, quick before us, like that much before us, and still not be able to find it online. Because when
Oh yeah, like illegally streaming.
when Late Night with the Devil came out, I found it like instantly online.
Mm. Yeah, this one's been kept under wraps a bit longer. But like you're saying about Longlegs, I saw because it's out on this Friday, Friday the 12th. I keep saying more teasers. There's a teaser online now, and it starts off with Longlegs. This is the scene where the actress. There's that one woman that's the main FBI agent.
I've not really watched a lot deliberately.
Oh,
I'm not watching any trailers on it.
Same. I'm not going to tell you anything because I didn't watch it. But you know the teaser bit trailers. It's a woman FBI hunting down a serial killer, murderer, whatever. I don't know what it is. But there's like cult elements and stuff like that. It's not just a murderer. And the bad guy is creepy. Well, there's been a new one just yesterday or today come out on social media, and it's just a black screen with the writing saying, "This is the scene that actress X whatever sees the bad guy for the first time." I'm like, no, move! I don't want to see it. Why are they putting that out? It's not even out yet. Put it out 2 weeks time, fair enough. But
yeah, I'm not watching anything on that. I've stopped watching trailers.
Skip it. And because it's been overhyped, that's one thing. But I've not listened to the hype except, I was looking at. It's already got IMDb ratings for Longlegs. It's tens, and a couple of nines.
Wow.
It's on IMDb. Like the two that I saw says the best horror movie of 2024 and of the decade with Maxine as well. So he goes, I love this horror flick with modern elements, although it could feel like you watched it before with a lot of the blah, blah, blah. And another one says, a true masterpiece of modern horror cinema. It's a cinematic triumph. This is Longlegs that masterfully intertwines the suspense thriller with the dark blah, blah, blah. So I'm excited for it. I don't know enough, and I'm taking Sadie, so that's a risk as well. I'm sure she'll like it. She likes horror.
Well, talking about horrors, I watched the Poughkeepsie tapes the other day.
Yes, you've mentioned that a few times, but I don't actually know that.
I've known about that film for years, but I've never got around to watching it because I couldn't be bothered to find it streaming. And I noticed it's on either Shudder or MGM. Turns out I've actually got all these extra apps on Prime now, which I definitely don't.
MGM.
I definitely don't pay for them, so I don't know how that's happened.
Tell us a couple of things about it. You can spoil it. I don't think most of our listeners.
Very old film. It's not a very old film. It's old enough though, but it's one of them obscure ones, and it's basically a found footage film in a documentary style. So they've got a presenter presenting the program and news reporters doing stuff, and they're interviewing police officers. They're interviewing coroners and all this sort of stuff whilst showing the found footage, and they basically eventually find these tapes, and there's just like a corridor, a room full of, like, it shows like the odd one or two, then they just pan back, and there's just like hundreds of these tapes, and it's like, but some of the murders are pretty brutal. Like, it's all off-screen stuff, like some of the things you see, but it's a lot of it's left to your imagination. But it's a bit like,
what's the bandness bit about? What's the severity about it? Is it just this type of murders? Is it disgusting, or is it?
I think it's just a bit messed up. It's a bit like psychologically messed up. Like,
okay,
I don't believe they ever catch the killer either.
Right.
But it's done in a way that is done very, very like kind of like realistic.
I'm just curious why it was so bad and people were so shocked about it. If it's all off camera, what's the shocking?
I don't think it is probably nowadays, but I think when it first came out, people were a bit like, "What's a bit ropey?"
When was it? Like early 2000s?
I don't know.
That's the weird thing, is like, because of our age and what we grew up in a different decade, century technically, that when people say early 2000s, that doesn't
2007.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that long ago, but it is.
Oh, it's just on Prime actually.
Imagine
so anyone who's just got Prime.
Imagine 15 years ago, man. You're in your early 20s. I was still living in Andover.
I mean,
that's
to be
a
fair,
world back then.
It's 5.9 on our IMDb, but it does say 86% of people liked it. So
strange people. Right, I got a couple of only like two. Not. There's not much movie news this week, and I listened to a couple of other podcasts to get inspiration, and they didn't have much either. But the movie news that I've heard recently.
Oh no! I'm just looking at the Poughkeepsie tapes here.
Go on.
Do you know who's in it?
Who?
Emmanuel Bonamy.
No, he isn't.
No, he's not.
Dickhead. If he was, that would be delightful.
This is the movie news.
Imagine.
So actual movie news, and it's related to what we were talking about a minute ago, is Mia Goth from X, Pearl, Maxine, Infinity Pool, all the recent fucked up horrors, and she is like, everyone has been calling her like the Scream Queen because her screams are insanely visceral. She doesn't just scream like a girly girl in trouble. She screams with like passion and anguish and guttural vocals at times. Anyway, she has admitted, I don't know if she was meant to, but in an interview I heard a couple of days ago, obviously she's doing her press tour for Maxine, and I don't know why they asked it because I haven't seen the film yet, but they talk about, when people do, what's it called when they do the masks? They put a mask on you, fill you with that stuff. You have like a tube in your mouth so you can breathe, and they put all this stuff all over your head, let it set, and then they open the case and they've got a mold.
Oh yeah, mold, like a latex mold. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's had it done before.
Silicone, sorry.
She did it in X. So have you seen X? It's very good. It's very old school slashery horror. It's almost classic. It's based in the 70s and it looks 70s. And the killer, the surprise. It's not really a surprise. It's one of those slasher films where you kind of know things, so you can't really spoil it. The enjoyment is the watching of what happens. So Mia Goth is the protagonist, which is a beautiful girl who is actually in X-rated movies, but wants to be a Hollywood movie star, which is why she becomes one in Maxine. But in X, the original X, she's still the pornography, like that sort of thing type film. Anyway, the killer is an old woman, like a haggardy old woman, like over the top, not a real woman, like really, really deformed and ugly and old. And it's actually it's actually Mia Goth playing that part. So she's had that mold done, and the mold has turned her into an old woman, and she plays the killer killing herself in the film, technically.
Fair enough.
So she's had it done before, but she was saying in Maxine, she had one done, and she was freaked out by it, and she had a panic attack because it's really suffocating, isn't it? Like, I can't imagine doing it. It doesn't sound like much fun because it's like hours you've got to wait for it. She had a panic attack when it wasn't fully done, and she had to scream and get it removed and go out and have a breather and compose herself and to come back. And she said it was really good practice, actually, because I'm doing a film, Frankenstein, and I have to do it for that film as well. So there's a new film, Frankenstein. I think it's Guillermo del Toro. So that's going to be pretty epic.
I'm more excited about Nosferatu. That's one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
Well, again, it's that monster era, isn't it? Maybe they're going to be connected because they're trying to build that monster universe up again. Which
they're going to bring back Invisible Man and like werewolves and stuff as well.
Invisible Man, the last
the
Invisible
Blob
Man with the woman. Oh God, from Handmaid's Tale was really good. That was a really good Invisible Man.
Oh, that was a suit he had, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brilliant film, though. That was really good. And obviously, they were trying to bring it back with The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and that was a massive failure. But they had plans to do it. And Abigail, the vampire child, Abigail, that is meant to be part of it as well, potentially. So Abigail, not a spoiler, actually I won't say, but the ending leaves an opening for Dracula or a bigger vampire to appear, therefore connecting to maybe Frankenstein, maybe Invisible Man, maybe Nosferatu, maybe something along those lines. So that's interesting. But Mia Goth also said, and I think this might have been the mistake, because she's about to start promoting Frankenstein, they're filming it, so I think that was deliberate, but she accidentally let it slip that she was having latex thing in Frankenstein and also Blade. So I guess they did start Blade. Maybe they've had to pause it because Mahershala Ali went off to do, he's filming Jurassic Park at the moment, and he was meant to be Blade. because there was issues with the writing. But maybe Mia Goth's done some scenes as a. I can imagine her as.
Do you know, it sounds like
Vampire.
Batgirl all over again. It's not going to happen.
I don't,
Remember Brendan Fraser Batgirl?
yeah, I remember. Oh dear.
Nah, don't mess with stuff. Like when The Crow comes out, those reviews are going to be so bad.
Oh, I saw the poster yesterday or the day before.
Everything about it looks like a Channel 5 knockoff movie.
I am going to watch it because it's free for me to go to the cinema, so I'm going to check it.
If I was Bill Skarsgård, I would have gone, no.
It's going to annoy me. I think I'm audibly going to be going like spamming my own forehead and going.
It is not going to do anything for his career. I reckon it could put him setting back.
Well, obviously he's playing Nosferatu, so that will bring him back again. So he's ping.
Yeah, that's not till the end of the year. So
it's a good point.
But I just don't understand why people do things that are going to be so clearly bad. What makes me laugh is the studio know these films are going to be bad. It's not like they haven't watched them. Like, they know they're going to be awful and they're going to flop. Like, no one was watching the Marvels going, I think this could be like $1 billion box office. They all knew it was awful. Like, no one watched She-Hulk thinking, oh, people are going to love this. They knew it was bad.
I can't believe I watched She-Hulk. At the time, it was just that it felt like homework. You have to keep up with all of them because the next
There's
film
scenes in that genuinely look like an Xbox game.
But yeah,
where she walks into the office in a suit and it looks like Premier Manager or something.
Yeah, it's like completely in a different plane to the rest of the actors. It's clearly it's not even bad CGI. It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's almost impressively bad.
It's like 2000. It's like 1990s or 1980s CGI. Call it.
It's like when CGI started becoming a thing.
Yeah,
like that's how bad it is. Like I can't believe they even just had the nerve to release it.
Like I said, I can't believe I watched it because I only watched it because I thought the next film that comes out are going to have Easter eggs to that, and you need to know, otherwise you don't understand. But I've kind of given up watching all those. The other bit of movie news I was going to say, I mentioned to you before we started recording, is there's this post appeared, and it's Mr., as you can tell, Austin Butler. He is in a new film, and it's an upcoming movie from Darren Aronofsky. It's called Caught Stealing. It begins filming in September. It's a crime thriller starring Austin Butler as a burned-out former baseball player who is unwittingly plunged into a wild fight for survival in 90s New York City. I'm interested because it's going to be 90s and retro and that sort of stuff. And as we were saying before, Darren Aronofsky, he is the infamous writer, producer, and director of a lot of weird films, including Pi, Black Swan. What was the other ones we said? Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
The Whale, stuff like that. So
Black Swan's such a good film.
So yeah, he's got a very good reputation. Oh, and Mother with Jennifer Lawrence.
I didn't like that.
The Fighter, The Wrestler.
Oh, The Fighter. That's the one with
I did that.
Christian Bale, isn't it?
Yeah, that's with Christian Bale, Mark
Marky
Wahlberg,
Mark,
Amy Adams, all that lot.
and that down Sugar Ray.
Oh, he also did Jackie as well. He's done. That's quite a mix as well because he's gone like not period dramas, but it's gone old school dramas to like fucked up horrors to really twisted sort of thrillers as well. So he's done quite a mix. So what's going to come out of this could be anything, but it's going to be probably a little bit edgy of some sorts. So interested in that. Van Derby Dozy. Should we mention what film we both watched this week then?
Axel F.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I think they could have probably done a cinema release. I thought it was really good.
Thank you. All I hear online is negative responses, which pisses me off.
The fact they used the original soundtrack, like Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters, like when that song came on, I was instantly hooked to the film.
Yes, that's it. You just want... I know cynical people just say it's a nostalgia film. It's very basic. It's just a simple plot. Exactly.
I liked it. I liked the plot. I thought it was cool.
But I think the plot is in keeping with that style of film. Whereas, like, to go to Bad Boys, which is obviously basically a remake of Beverly Hills, because Beverly Hills...
You've got to remember, Beverly Hills Cop as well is like a kind of comedy, as well as... It's an action comedy.
Beverly Hills is comedy with action. Bad Boys is an action thriller with some comedy elements. They're complete
Yeah.
opposites in style. But
I
like,
think if you looked at it just as without seeing the originals, maybe, or not being a fan of the originals,
yeah,
you might be like,
being too young and not getting it.
like you only watched the originals like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think the new Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F, is cheesy and 80s styly, but not in a bad way. In a fantastic, in exactly what you want type of way.
What's the other guy called? Is it Taggart and
Oh God, his name's Judge.
what's his surname? Begins with an M, doesn't it? Taggart and
Let's find out. I only just watched it the other day. Why am I not remembering it? Rosewood.
Rosewood. Sorry, not an
Billy
M.
Rosewood
Taggart
and John.
Yeah, they're quite funny in it, aren't they?
And I wish Rosewood was in it more because I remember him from the 80s. He did loads of great funny films. He did like a body swap film as well. He was brilliant. And you got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which I thought was a great addition.
Yeah, the girl that plays his daughter's quite good. I think this could be like a beginning of something good for her.
I was trying to think if he had a daughter in the previous films, or we just got to have disbelief and just think, oh, something happened.
Yeah, but she's probably younger than when the last film was made, so it's believable.
Well, the last film was 1994.
Yeah, so he could have a 20-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I think she's a bit older than that, but it doesn't mean we would have heard about it. Could have been any scenario that happened there. But I like the fact they had Paul Reiser back again from Alien films. He plays Jeffrey, what's his name? Jeffrey Freed or something like that. You know, the guy in the first couple who's like the guy in the Detroit office who's just a bit shit but likes Axel, and now he's the chief and helping him out. But also they had Serge back as well. Is Serge? Is what does he call Axel? Ahmed. Is Ahmed Foley?
That was a good film. I thought it was alright.
And they said it's Detective. He introduces Joseph Gordon-Levitt to Serge. He goes, "This is Bobby Abbott. Habit. He just can't pronounce anyone's name. That's the joke, and it is cheesy, but it's great. They had Kevin Bacon, who's in the new Maxine film as well. But seeing Kevin Bacon in any film is, I think, enjoyable.
It was his birthday the other day.
Was it?
I think he's 62.
I thought he was older than that. I mean, he looks amazing.
Pretty sure it's 62.
He looks amazing either way, but I swore he was older than that.
Google it.
Oh no, I believe you.
I heard it on the radio and think
1958. So take away 4. No, he's 66.
Oh, really?
But that's still pretty similar age. But then again, like he got famous in 1984, which is that the year you were born?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 66. Yeah.
Footloose came out the year you were born. And bring it back to monster movies, he did the original, Hollow Man in the year 2000.
His wife is 30 years younger than him, that animal.
But he's great. He's great in everything, even if it is cheesy. But yeah, I think Beverly Hills Cop was... So many people just don't like it because they thought it just didn't work. But I think the music, the electro 80s music, and I think it's filmed the same way the originals were. Like, it's not too detailed. You know,
it's just when he's like, don't cause any damage, he starts plowing that truck through everyone's car.
Yeah, like that wouldn't happen. Like even Bad Boys, that wouldn't happen because he get told off or whatever. But he just cracks on and destroys the city for a laugh. You know, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
But I didn't have an argument online. But I don't ever comment on stuff. But there's someone that we follow as Ragewell. And she put that she didn't like it, and like there's like 10 comments saying, yeah, it was rubbish, not what I was expecting, not as good as the originals. All this
obviously it's not as good as the originals. What 80s remake has been better than the originals?
Exactly.
Ghostbusters? No. Jurassic Park? No.
But I think it's in the same 90s. Keeping, and I was like, wait a minute, I think if you're picking holes in it, you're watching it incorrectly. It's just meant to be fun and nostalgic.
Yeah.
And it ticks all the boxes, and the fact
some people just whingers, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'll complain if a film is really bad, but this film wasn't meant to be amazing. It just was meant to,
No, that's why it was straight on Netflix.
which is a shame because it brought the whole team back and everything. It's not as big a production as the new Bad Boys film, fair enough, but there's still a helicopter scene and like mad shit going on, so it's still great.
How funny is that Reggie scene in Bad Boys?
What is the son-in-law?
When he's in the house,
Yeah,
just annihilating everyone, and they're just watching it on TV.
he just goes proper sniper.
Then he like does that at the end, doesn't he? He goes full
Yeah.
psycho.
Like sniper within 2 inches of like space, like gun right to people's faces.
Yeah, and then they're at the barbecue, and they're like, "You ain't going anywhere near this barbecue." And then they're like chatting. They're like, "Actually, I'm just going to go and do the potato salad. You have the barbecue."
But they wind him up for far too long in that scene. I was like, they were clearly winding him up, but I think they went too far on that one. They should have just gone, "Mate, you're amazing. You saved my daughter. You saved my wife. You saved our family," and just. But
Which is the way they're like, he's still stood there. And then they're like, he killed 10 people. They're like, he killed 10 people in that house, and they're like, look at each other. It's like,
okay.
yeah, I'm going to go and do something else.
And he gets his little smile, but he's still like awkward, isn't he? He's like an awkward person.
Yeah, it's funny they've kept the same actor for the whole thing and actually written him into the story, because
so
they
glad.
write. One thing that annoys me is when they write out key characters. Like they wrote out Marcus's sister.
Yeah,
But
well, they mentioned
they do it in films all the time. Though. They bring people in, but then they do sequels, but then the close characters aren't there anymore. Not even mentioned. It's
well,
like
the sister was mentioned at the beginning. She was binned off in like one sentence, but
oh, was she?
Yeah, but it wasn't blink or like not pay attention for a second. You wouldn't have.
But they could have easily just like pied off the Reggie character after him being a teenager in the second one. Sorry,
he's the funniest part. What? Not the funniest. That's a bit too much because the whole.
He's a great character.
But the probably the social media clips and the things that's repeated about Bad Boys more than anything is that scene where Reggie knocks the door and it's Martin Lawrence going, "You a big motherfucker," and he goes, "How old are you? 14, sir?" And he goes, "Man, you at least 30, bitch."
And then Will Smith comes out acting drunk, doesn't he? Waving his gun around. But they could easily have just like
I just came out
forgotten
of jail
about the
and I'll
character.
go back in if you touch my niece. He starts waving the gun around, like, "Put your gun away." And he's like,
But for them to make that decision to keep him in the next two films is like genius.
Yeah. I would. I know people think they've had enough of Bad Boys, but I thought the new one wasn't perfect. There was some issues there, but overall, I enjoyed it, and I would happily see more if they're up for it.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got another one left in them.
Yeah, as long as they write it well and get Reggie involved, maybe more. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But overall, it was good. So yeah, Bad Boys and Beverly Hills, although they're very similar, they're completely polar opposites in a way as well. But they're both very good. A film I watched the other week, I don't know if you've seen it, Drop Dead Fred.
Do you know I have, but like 25 years ago. So I know it's Rick Mail. I remember the scene where he gets his head slammed in the fridge and it turns into like a frying pan face.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I honestly watched it when it came out, and that was the last time I watched it.
Yeah, it came out.
So when it got 93.
Let's have a look.
That's a real sort of shot in the dark there.
91.
So, yeah, I watched it obviously I didn't watch it in 1991, but I watched it when I was old enough to watch it.
Yeah.
Like at a friend's house.
You'd
or
be in
something
what,
on video.
7? But I
probably didn't watch it when I was 7.
I watched it about just over a week ago. It's only got 5.9 on IMDb, which I think is a crying shame because
yeah, but
it's
that past. It's just it didn't. If I watched it now, I'd probably be like, this doesn't really sync up with today. Like some 80s films, you're like 90s films, like yeah, Ace Ventura still works today.
Yeah,
but some just don't.
I think this. I mean, maybe it is.
It's also a Marmite film.
Yeah, I think because of the nostalgia part, I like. Ace Ventura was 1994, only 3 years later. The difference in quality from Drop Dead Fred to Ace Ventura is a chasm. Like, Ace Ventura is
Jim Carrey as well, wasn't it? If you think how much money they put into Jim Carrey, because he's already very well known on the comedy scene.
Yeah. Well,
so they knew he was going to be the next big thing. Well, so they wanted it to be. So they.
Jim Carrey had done multiple films, like something about aliens.
Just no one had seen him. Ace Ventura was his big one, and they knew he was funny. Like they had a star in their hands.
Yeah, what was the film he did? He did. Oh God, it was really old. About 8
A bit like Eddie Murphy. They knew he had the pedigree of the comedy.
Oh God, Ace. He did Batman Forever in 1995, so he had a good run because 1994 for Jim Carrey was phenomenal. He did Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Three of
Liar, liar.
no, that's all in the 3 years. That's all in 1994.
And then you think you got Liar, liar, which
90,
is a cable guy.
yeah, 95 was Batman Forever. Yes, it's one of the worst Batmans, but
Yeah, but at the time it was really popular.
that still for kids. I loved it as a kid. When you visit it back as an adult, you go, yeah, this one's the shit one.
It also introduced Tommy Lee Jones to a lot of new fans.
Yeah, to kids, because Tommy Lee Jones does serious, so this was weird that he did this one.
Yeah,
and he hated
Val Kilmer. If you hadn't seen Top Gun,
yeah, and Jim Carrey, no, Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey because he wouldn't be serious at any point, and Jim Carrey just thought he was a bit of a prick and just teased him, just kept going because he was too pretentious. But yeah,
and Nicole Kidman in that film, big lineup.
Yeah, he did Batman Forever and Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls in '95.
You know who directed Batman Forever, don't you?
Batman Forever.
And I'll give you a clue: Helena Bonham Carter wasn't in it for a change.
Joel Schumacher.
No, I thought it was Tim Burton.
Nope.
Really?
Tim Burton did the original.
I thought he was to do with Batman Forever as well.
No, it was Joel Schumacher. Because the original Batman was Tim Burton.
Yeah, I know that. Maybe he was... Bear with. Hold, please. Tim Burton was producer on this film.
Oh yeah, he's going to be kept involved. Like that, like Tim Burton never needs to work after that film. Like, I know he did big things like, Edward Scissorhands, which were amazing, stuff like that. But
Nightmare Before Christmas.
After Batman, the smart people like him and like most people these days, they don't just get paid for doing the film; they get a cut for the toys and the merchandise.
Beetlejuice.
That's it. Game over. You're like, think about Margot Robbie producing and being Barbie in Barbie. 100%. She said, "I'm going to do this film. I want a cut of the toys." And that's it. She's going to.
Do you know I had the original Batmobile toy from the original Batman movies?
No.
The plastic one with the missile that used to come out the front. Still to this day, I think my favourite Batmobile. It had a missile that came out the front.
That's amazing.
Probably worth a fortune now.
100%. But the problem is like, same with what my mum said. Because my mum said to me, because I had a box of toys up in my loft. Well, in my parents' loft, but it got moved to mine because they moved house. And she said, the only problem with you and your toys, yes, they're worth things because they're original and you kept good care of them, but we didn't leave anything in boxes. You played with them all. So I've got all these really original, I had loads of original Star Wars, He-Man, Turtles.
Things like back then, you don't think reselling didn't exist.
No, it wasn't a thing you'd think of, but I had all these.
Whereas nowadays, if something came out, you could go with the purpose of going to a vintage toy shop, should we say?
Yeah.
Buying something in the packet, putting it in a storage locker for 10 years and hoping for the best.
I can't remember what.
Like Pokemon cards. I mean, look at them. Jesus. People sell sealed packets of them Pokemon cards. That cost what?
I was in someone's house the other day.
Thousands.
Yeah, they were doing that. I was in someone's house the other day and talking to the adults, and I went in they were showing me around the house. I went in one of the bedrooms, and it's this kid's bedroom, but it's not like a kid's bedroom. It's got an office chair, desk. It's got like ring lights. I'm like, God, is every kid online? Like, adults should be careful.
What are they doing? Opening cards.
And yeah, basically. And he's got loads of stuff on the walls. Like, it's like a backdrop that looks sick. It's like, well, if you're into toys and games and cards and shit, all that sort of stuff. And he's got boxes all over the place that are out of view where the camera would be. And she goes, "Oh, there'll be another delivery today. He spent about £1,000 on more cards today." I was like, "What? How old is he?" He's like, he wasn't like a child. He was like 16 or 15 or something.
The thing is, if you know what you're doing, I remember I watched an episode of that Porn Stars program where they go into the pawn shop and they take all their bits and they offer them money.
PAWN shop.
Yeah. There was an episode out the other day, and this guy had this sealed packet of like Magic the Gathering cards.
Don't know what that is.
And it's basically like a card game, like Dungeons and Dragons or Pokemon or something. I think I remember when I was younger, I bought a deck of them, and to this day, they still might be around here somewhere. And this guy sold this sealed deck for like 30 grand. They opened the pack and he had one card in there that was worth like 150k or something stupid, or 120k.
I saw Sadie was watching it downstairs. Like Sadie quite often works downstairs, like doing some admin for her business, and she'll just press whatever's on Netflix to have a noise, but she's not watching it. I came downstairs, was like, "Why are you watching a program with Drake, as in the rapper Drake?"
Was he buying
And she
Pokemon
went,
cards? Or something?
I don't know who that is. What's going on? I was like, so I sat down next to her and I was like, and half an hour disappeared. I was engaged in it, and it annoyed me I was engaged in it. But it's a program, like a short mini series on Netflix about collectors.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
But it's
Collectables.
high end collectors, and it cuts to
Yeah.
this guy in the office, and he goes, "Well, today I'm investing the money from Drake, and these people don't buy £20 Pokemon cards. They give me about £250,000. I buy one box with about 10 packs of cards, and it is literally, you watch him open it. He opens one, he goes, bullshit, 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 just chucks all these stuff away. And one of them he holds up and he goes, "Oh my God, look, it's that." I don't know what he's looking at.
Have you not seen Post
I think
Malone? Didn't Post Malone pay like £1 million for one Magic the Gathering
I
card?
don't know.
Like $1 million.
It was a baseball card or something, and he goes, "Boom! I just made $500,000." And he's like, "What?" And the other guy,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Post Malone paid like. Pretty sure Post Malone paid like $1 million for one card. It was like a gold, the One Ring or something from Lord of the Rings, and there was maybe only one of them.
It's insane.
But Logan Paul wears them as well, and it's just crazy.
I'd love to have enough money to just blow shit like that on a whim. See if it makes you money or it doesn't.
Madness, isn't it?
Insane. But yeah, it's I had all these toys up, and I can't remember what I was going to buy. I bought something with it for the house. I can't remember what it was now. I did some DIY or something to the house, but I don't play with the toys. I've not even looked at them for 20 odd years. And so I got loads of them out and I sent photos to some collectors. And a guy came around my house, and it's all done cash. And he gave, I can't remember how much it was now. It was at least 600 quid in cash. He just gave me a wad of cash and went, "I'll take these, you can keep them." And I sold the other ones for like a couple hundred quid as well. So I made like loads of money from this stuff that I played with. None of them were boxes. And it was like, yeah, original Darth Vader with his little cloak and stuff like that made of felt, and a little plastic neon red lightsaber.
That's what's expensive, isn't it? The little tiny accessories that people lose or break or throw away.
He was obsessed with that because he got them all out, and I just tipped a box full of toy, like guns and swords and shit like that. And he went round going, "Oh, that belongs to him." I'm like, I would never have known that. I would never have known that actually.
They're pros though. They're so good at what they do. Like I'm all right with certain things, like obviously shoes and stuff, but the level of detail they go into, it's just like absolutely insane.
He picked up an axe and he went, "Oh, that belongs to the Ewok, but it's the Ewok senior." That Ewok had a bunch of Ewoks. And like they all looked the same apart from one with a hat, and he knew exactly which one it went to. I was like,
the confused look on my face. I've just seen a shoebox
in your room.
I don't know what's in it.
In your room?
Yeah.
Let's do an open. Let's do a reveal.
Yeah. I'm curious because it's an Adidas box. I don't tend to go with Adidas, so
you're a Nike person, aren't you?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was covered up by a hoodie for a long time. That I've just moved now, and I can 2 seconds. I'm curious.
What's your normal go-to though? Usually Nike, right?
Dunks, Jordans, that sort of thing. Oh, there's quite a lot of weight on it. I've got.
Maybe it's where you keep some special stuff you forgot you kept.
There could be anything there. It might not even be a pair of shoes.
That's what I was thinking. That's where you.
Oh, I'm not even going to look. It says on the side.
That looks.
Sometimes when you my foot. Sometimes when you buy shoes, people send them in like new boxes.
Let's have a look at the box before you open it.
It's just a standard.
It's
Adidas
a blue box with the 3 stripes. It looks like
standard.
It could be a £10 pair of trainers or a £1,000 pair of trainers.
Well, it says it's a pair of size 11 Adidas Campus 2000.
So this is one of your collection because you're not size 11.
Yeah, I'm almost certain I've never bought that brochure in my life.
Go on then. Let's have a look.
Oh,
So
okay,
you might
it's
need
a good one. It's a good
might
one.
need to switch to the visual version of this. We're on YouTube and
No.
on Spotify. You can watch the video as well.
No, it's a good one.
Show it. I saw blue and white. Is it complimentary
Yeah,
to the box?
No, it's a Dunklo Union. That's about 200 quid's worth.
That's Nike. Or
Yeah.
Nike. What is it? What is the actual correct pronunciation of Nike?
Nike, potato.
Yeah, but there's got to be a real word. There's got to be the right way.
I don't know.
Like Adidas.
No, I say
Adidas.
Nike. Let's just do a quick check, because I completely forgot I own these.
They're nice.
What was it?
I'm always scared to buy white trainers or light colored trainers because it shows up scuffs and stuff. But I bought some pure white Vans the other day, the EXOs, EXOs, with just one little black stripe on it, and I've worn them like twice in the past couple of months because I'm too scared to wear them out because they're just pure white, every part of it.
Oh yeah, it's always a problem.
Oh, we forgot to watch the Gladiator 2 trailer.
Gladiator 2?
Yeah.
I did see a bit of it.
Just before we finish, there's like, yeah. But this is what's weird about this podcast, right? Is what I've noticed is that we talk about things as soon as we've seen them, which could be like a Monday or a Monday record, but it doesn't go out that week. It goes out the following week. So all our movie news is like a week and a half behind. But I think that's a good thing because I listen to like some movie podcasts and they're talking about a film I haven't seen yet, and it puts me off, so I stop listening to it.
Not bad.
So I think that's better that we discuss it when it's out. I can't.
222 quid.
122 quid.
222.
222. That's ridiculous for a pair of trainers.
Yeah, not bad.
They're nice though.
They're women's and they're size 6, so if anyone else wants them, let me know.
In a man's Adidas size 11 box.
Genuinely forgot about them. They're a really nice shoe, actually.
There's been a couple of bangs in the background. I wasn't sure what it was, but I've just realised it's thunder.
Thunder?
Yeah, it's hammering it down here.
It's not even raining here.
It's hammering. I've not seen any lightning though. Right. Smashing. Anything you want to end on?
Bubble wrap.
Oh, can you ASMR some bubble wrap and pop a couple?
Not very good bubble wrap. It's been pre-popped.
All right, thanks for listening. That was episode 43 and teaser for next Thursday. Well, this week Thursday is we have a special guest coming on. You'll need to pay attention to find out who that is, but it's got a connection to one of our previous episodes, number 38 to be specific. And yeah.
Is that person 38?
Enjoy the madness. Is she 38? I have no idea. She's definitely younger than us, but not by huge amounts. Shed's definitely much younger. She's like 35, I think. But I'm pretty sure guest for Thursday is in between us and her. Anyway.
Okay. In a bit.
Boy.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for listening to Your Movie Podcast.